Yes, people, Watford here, and welcome to a new series on the channel where we are going to be giving tier list ratings to every team in the Premier League season across the whole season at the end of every week and giving them a kind of ranking after their game. So, as always, if you're new around here, please consider subscribing on my road to 500 subs around the corner. And we're going to start in alphabetical order with my club, Arsenal. I'm going to start this one straight away with very worrying. I'm going to talk a lot about each side because there's 20 teams to get through. But we can literally sit and speak all day about Arsenal. I put a reaction to the Brentford game in my channel a couple of days ago, fresh from it. I've given it a few days now. This is now Monday when I'm recording this. And guys, where do we start with Arsenal, man? Just disappointing. I'm feeling a bit ill right now, and Arsenal did not help. They literally can't defend. We can't score. To go against a promoted side, you know they're going to be up for it. And we just could not score a goal, couldn't break them down. That's very, very worrying to not be able to score a single goal. And then defending-wise, Rory Delap throw-ins and we can't defend it. Just have to go very worrying. Aston Villa now, bad but positive signs in my opinion. Look, you lost your promoted side as well, Watford, but you put up a fight. You were 3-0 down, and at that point I'm thinking, yeah, lock off. But they brought it back to 3-2. Look, they just lost Jack Grealish, their main player, and they brought in their new signs, Bailey, Ings, Buendia. It's going to take time to adapt. Bailey, I don't believe started, but Ings and Buendia did. It takes time. They made a comeback to 3-2. Aston will be fine. There's positive signs come across. If they lost straight 3-0, I'd say, woof, they're in the bin. But positive signs in Aston Villa, I think they'll be fine. A couple of players back from the Copa America and Euros. They'll be sorted. Brentford now, perfect start, to be honest. To have one of the big six clubs, or so-called big six with Arsenal, and to win 2-0, clean sheet, and score two great goals and look sound defensively, what more can you ask for? It's a perfect start for them. 3 points out of 3 going into the new season. Brighton now, ooh. Brighton, you know what? Decent result. To come back from behind against Burnley and win 2-1, look, it's tough there. But they came back from behind and they won 2-1 at a tough turf moor. Got the goals. Malpe ends up scoring. They could see straight when I was thinking, oh, this is a tough one for Burnley. And the new boys off the bench scored as well for them. Decent result for Brighton. Burnley, on the other hand, look, not the end of the world. They lost 2-1 at home. They were in a winning position. It was a tight game. They lost to Brighton. Look, it's not the end of the world that you lost to another team that's probably around that relegation bottom table area. But it's a close game. Start of the season, you got plenty more points to pick up, and they did have some decent signs. Burnley and did score the opening goal after only 2 minutes. So look, it's a good sign they got centre backs dominating in the air when they scored a corner like that. But there's certain stuff to build up on. But it's not the end of the world. Chelsea, also a perfect start. 3-0 win, clean sheet. Chalobah scored in his debut. What more can you ask for? Didn't even have your Lukaku's in. So, didn't have their full strength squad, and they still managed to get 3-0 against Crystal Palace. Beautiful result for Chelsea. Crystal Palace, you know what? Very worrying, man. Very worrying. I know it's their first game with Patrick Vieira, but they didn't do anything that game. Didn't do absolutely anything. They couldn't stop Chelsea. It was all Chelsea. They had one chance right at the end with Zaha, but he kind of sluffed it. Other than that, it was all Chelsea. Patrick has a lot of work to do at Crystal Palace, and I'm going to put them in very worrying. Everton now. What do I put Everton? It's a tough one, to be honest. Not entirely sure. I'm going to quickly go back and refresh myself with who started for them. So they won 3-1 against Southampton. Okay, so I'm going to have to put them in decent result. So it was Doucouré, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. That's great for them then, because they got their two main strikers off and running with Richarlison. Actually, no, that's got to be a perfect start, no? 3-1, you got Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin off the mark. Exactly what you want to see, your two strikers. And yeah, there's not much they could ask for. Great game. I didn't get to see the exact full game. I watched the highlights match today because it was one of the 3 p.m. games. But great start for Everton. Can't ask for much more. Perfect for new boss Rafa Benitez, who obviously was under the cost joining. We've now got Leeds. Very worrying. They lost 5-1 to Man United. They're bottom of the table. And you know what? It's classic. They're very easy to play against Leeds, man. They've got the same style. They don't switch for anybody. And if they do that again, they'll be in for worrying times next season. Sure, they lost 5-1 here and they might win next week 5-1. But you can't keep doing this in the Premier League. You can't keep just trying to outscore opponents because you will get found out. They might end up being like Sheffield United last year, where they had a great first season and then second season syndrome. So Bielsa's a lot of stuff to work out there. Leicester City, decent result. They didn't blow away Wolves by any means, but they got the 1-0 win, and that's what mattered. If you can start the Premier League season with a win, doesn't matter how you get it, just get the 3 points, and they did that. Vardy scored a brilliant goal, and yeah, decent result for Leicester. Liverpool as well, decent result. I'm not going to put them in perfect start just for the fact that when I watched this game, I watched the full game against Norwich. Norwich had them in the first half. If Norwich were about it, had some finishers like Pukki and had some actual clinicality in front of goal and good decision making, they could have scored a couple in the first half against Liverpool. Second half, they took the game where they swept Norwich apart. But decent result only because the first half they looked a bit shaky and their midfield kind of need to tighten that up. Man City, not the end of the world. They lost 1-0 to Spurs, but we saw the quality Man City have. And to be honest, they always lose to Spurs away. So it's nothing new. Spurs like their bogey team. And yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. Still ain't got the striker yet. They still had De Bruyne only came off in the last 10 minutes. Foden was missing. They'll be fine. There was patches there when they played beautiful football. So yeah, I'm putting not the end of the world for Man City. Man United, perfect start as well. Absolutely blistering start. Bruno Fernandes and Pogba both on top form, which you want to see. That's their two world-class players. They're two cream de la creme players. And if they're starting on top form with a hat-trick for one and 4 assists for the other, not much more you can ask for. Great start for Man United. Newcastle now. Ooh, I'm going to put bad but positive signs because they lost 4-2 to West Ham, right? And it was a game that was going topsy-turvy. It was swinging in roundabouts. They were at home and didn't get the win, which is worrying, but they got positive signs. They scored 2 goals. Of course, conceded 4 is never good, but scoring 2 goals is good. They got Willock to come in their team. Some good signs for Newcastle, and they did have some decent chances. I feel like they'll do decent this season, Newcastle. Norwich, you know what? Bad but positive signs. They lost 3-0 to Liverpool, but let's be honest, no one expected them to really win. And they did get, they were forward, they had chances, they just need to put them away. It was worrying the fact that they didn't, finish those chances, which is going to haunt them if they continue to do that in the Premier League. But there was definitely some positive signs creating those chances for Norwich Football Club. Southampton, very worrying, losing 3-1 to Everton. Look, off the bat, losing Everton are an amazing football team, don't get me wrong. To lose 3-1 off the bat is not very, very worrying. They lost Danny Ings, they need to replace his goals. So they need to get that from somewhere. Southampton, I'm putting them very worrying. Spurs, perfect start. To say you have Manchester City off the bat and then to win against Man City, probably the team that everyone's favourites to win, you can't be anything. Even if you won 1-0, 2-1, 4-0, it's a perfect start for Spurs. And they look good without Harry Kane. Watford, perfect start. Promoted team in 1-3-2. Look, if you're a promoted team and you win your first game, it is a perfect start no matter who you play. And they did that shaky towards the end, but to take a 3-0 lead and Ismaili Sarr being on top form, nothing more you can ask for. Well done, Watford. West Ham United, decent results. 4-2 versus Newcastle. Great turnaround. They're 1-0 down. Look, they did their thing. They then got pegged back to 2-2 and still managed to come on top. Antonio did his thing. Soucek did his thing. Decent result for West Ham, recovering after, obviously, they haven't got Jesse Lingard anymore. But they did their thing. Ben Rama played well. Decent result for West Ham. And then finally, Wolves, not the end of the world. They lost 1-0 to Leicester, but look, Leicester, a team that's going to be pushing for Champions League football. They'll definitely be around Europa League football at least. So to lose 1-0 is not the end of the world. They definitely pushed and gave up and put up a fight, but just didn't quite make it at the end. So yeah, that's just been my tier list after the opening week of results. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your tier list would look like. Who did the best? Who did the worst? I've been Whitefield. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing on my road to 500. I'll catch you guys in the next video.